Hey guys, got a new video today, surprisingly enough. Um, I don't know why my phone is glitching out. Um, but yeah, so it's a new video, and here we go. So I've noticed that you can keep a lot of the like the points that you get from the Ultimate Arena. They save up, like you don't have to worry about them disappearing. So that's pretty cool. I'll talk about the event in a minute. But mostly a couple of the questions that I got asked. No, I won't be giving this account away. Mostly because it's very expensive, essentially. Not only that, but I do tend to get into the habit of jumping back into games like later on. It's just that it hasn't been long enough. It just hasn't happened with this game simply because of the videos, essentially. So the videos extended the amount of time I would normally play. Um, but they also extended the amount of time I would normally take to jump back into a game. So that's kind of why you haven't seen me jump back into this particular game in a while, simply because, well, um, hiatus essentially. But yeah, so there's that. Not only that, if you do get up fairly high up in the ninja thing, the Ultimate Arena, I would recommend buying the upgrade pills because those are very, very useful. Um, they do boost up your stats quite nicely, if I do say so myself. I'm fairly sure I already explained in the last video exactly how this works, but just a quick recap. And just to have something to talk about right now, essentially what you want to do is you want to buy the upgrade pills whenever you can, with as many as points as you can, and then just upgrade all of your stats here with those upgrade pills. Upgrade them up, get them get everything up to like level 2, level 3, all that. Get it all the way to the max. And once you do so, the entire formation or the addition or whatever you want to call it, um, it will go up to level 2, level 3. It will go up one level essentially once you get it up to max. And once you get all of 6 of the slots up to max or the next level, so say you're level 5 and you get it up to max, I'm fairly sure it's something else, but we'll see. But yeah, not much to tell, to be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and like just look over the event, go over it with you guys, see what's up, see if there's anything good about it. I mean, in general, just because of the amount of time that I've been missing, and the way that at the pace that this game goes, how it needs to like progressively get better and better, well, stronger and stronger. Then because of that, I'm gonna have to just look at shit essentially. So upgrade that with 30 breakthrough points and just keep on doing this. As you can see, the stats that I previously had, like they stayed. Now I can upgrade them even higher, which is really nice in my opinion. Like Taijutsu, like Ninjutsu attack at max, it's essentially 15k now, and the HP is 25k, which is a significant amount of CP if you think about it, especially if it contributes towards your overall um, CP for your team whenever it's in the Ultimate Arena. So yeah, as you can see, like I said, just get everything up to max. It's a little tedious in doing so, and I really wish that they would have something a little better to scale up when it comes to the rankings at the very least, because I know it's a pain in my ass having to click every 5, and like if I want to go up to like let's say stage 5, like um rank 300 from what I am at right now, so I'm like rank 500 I think. Say I want to get to rank 300, I would have to fucking like do at least 100 battles and 2 battles per rank dispute. So it'd be like 200 battles just to get all the way up there. And then not to mention what I would have to do if I wanted to get even within like the top 100. And considering the cards that I see just up in the front for like the top number 1, 2, and 3, like the top 10 are just beasts and like monsters. So, not really into spending a whole lot of cash at the moment. Fairly broke. But, I mean, we'll see. It's ironic because, I mean, now that I don't particularly play a lot of video games anymore because, I don't know, they just got a little boring. I've noticed that I've had a lot more time in my hands. Like, I've started playing guitar again. Like, from what little I used to know. Like, starting to pick up little tips, tricks, and stuff like that. I literally played like I think a good 2 hours yesterday. Like since I haven't developed the calluses on my left hand, since I'm right-handed for the frets. Um, well, for the tabs, there we go. Yeah. But yeah, since I haven't developed calluses for my fingers, for the tips of my fingers, like they're all just busted up right now. Like I was fairly sure they were gonna burst and like they were gonna bleed or some shit, but thankfully it didn't. So let me go ahead. Oh, that's polished chrome. Whoops. So another 100. Yeah, these upgrade pills are fairly cheap, but I mean, considering how many you need of them per like level, it's understandable why they're so cheap. It's a very good thing actually. Um, yeah, to be honest, I'm more than likely just gonna be logging in whenever there's a decent amount of days have stacked up for me to go ahead and just do this, like upgrade my formations. Um, it'll be easier for me to show you guys like what's up with the ultimate arena and stuff like that if I can just show you how it goes along with me. That way if I make a mistake or something, well then you guys can learn from my mistakes essentially. But yeah, I mean, I did notice that Itachi did go Diamond Reborn, and that skin looks just amazing. But I can't even imagine the amount of money that it must have cost to get that. Um, but yeah, you know how this game is. Let's see. So, did I get... Okay, level 3. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, now we're up to 40-ish. Yeah, these bonuses are actually really, really good. I mean, I'd say overall it would give me a good million, half a million CP for my entire team if I had these bonuses. Like this is at the very least a collection's worth of bonuses, which is pretty impressive all things considered. Because most collections are at the very least 500 KCP a pop minimum, so you know that's always great. Okay, so there we go. I think I'm only gonna get to like level 4 at the most. I'm almost out of pills for upgrading pills, and not only that, but I'm fairly sure I'm almost out of breakthrough points. So that should be interesting. Specialization. Yeah, see, I don't have any polished pills yet, but we'll see how those come out or where I can get those from. So let's see. There we go, max. Kind of wish for those of you who don't know, I used to play Dungeon Link, and I've been playing it again recently. As you can see, it's like right over here. Mostly caught my attention because of Adventure Time, and I'm a really big fan of it. But yeah, I've noticed that it has a feature that I really like, and I kind of wish that this game would incorporate. And it'd make it a lot easier to grind out certain cards. Which is the auto feature. Basically, like it leaves it in. Here I'll show you in a minute. When I get into that one, because another thing that I like about it, I don't have to log in every fucking time. It just has things automatically saved for me to be able to go in without having to log in, so I can log into the game without worrying about you guys seeing my password, which I can't do with this game because if it ends for whatever reason, I either need to pause the video and um, to those of you who don't know, when I used to do that, the video quality would drop substantially. Like there'd be ear raping noises, just weird stuff, glitches and shit. But anyways, it has this feature which just lets you do a dungeon over and over again, without you know, being there. As long as the app is running, like, and as long as you have stamina or swords in this case, the substitute for stamina, um, you can do the dungeon, and it's really, really useful, to be perfectly honest. I enjoy the hell out of it because, I mean, I can work, I can listen to music, and I can, you know, function as a human being, and I know that my crap will still be done. Um, really wish that this game would be able to do that, would let me do that, like for example, for the Ninja World War. If Ninja World War would be automatic, like if you had the function where to, let's say that it's a lot harder than normal, but in exchange, you still, okay, yeah, see 60k, like from level 2, it's a pretty significant jump. But as I was saying, for example, for Ninja World War, like an auto feature, like with not just the skip feature, because I mean, once you get really high up in the ranks, when it comes to damage, like with Tobirama, Hashirama, and whatever new card can do a whole mess of damage. Once you get up there, it becomes a hassle just to skip past 100 stages daily. It literally becomes just a pain in the ass, to be honest. And I think I'm gonna run out of points here. Yeah, I only have enough for another 100, and that's only gonna get me like 2 or 3 levels. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, we're almost here. So, hang on. Each one of these is 2, so that's 2 times 5. 10 times 10 times 5, that's 50. It's like 50 points per for every level per section. So if you want the entirety, like all of the, to upgrade the entire thing, 6 times 50, which is 300 upgrade pills in total. That's how much you need to be able to upgrade. What do you call it? This stuff all the way up to the next level. Considering that each upgrade costs like 2 pills and such. So yeah, see, like these two. It's got the little flames. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's got little like animations now. I really do like this particular update to this game, just because it's something new. I mean, to be quite honest, the game itself is getting fairly stale. I mean, the newest thing that had come out for quite some time ago was the Diamond Reborn and such, which I kind of like and I kind of don't like because it really just fucks with the entire balance of the game. Um, but yeah, uh, oh well, what can you do, you know? So yeah, there you go. That's the Thornbird formation at the moment. Yeah, I'm still like rank 405. So like I said, if I want to go up like 200, like 100 ranks even, like I'd have to do like at least 100 battles of like skipping past all this, and that's fairly boring in my opinion. Like that's mostly what's stopping me from playing this game too, because it just gets boring and repetitive after some time. Like sure, it's exciting when you get a new card or like when you upgrade your stuff, but over and over again without anything new, that just becomes really frustrating, really fast. Um, but again, you know what can you do? Uh, let's see what else. So, like, there's the rewards, and I mean, I know that the whole game, like the whole point of a mobile game, is that it wants you to spend, it wants you to be on there. But at the same time, like after some time, I really can't just justify it anymore because of how boring it is. Like I said, that's cool. I think they're gonna do an auction for not an auction, but a oh, National Wars is gonna start in a little bit, and they've deployed Hiruko as a reinforcement for Kakashi. Oh, that's pretty cool. I might actually have to try to get that. Today's the 7th, isn't it? No, it's the 8th. Shit, that was yesterday. That kind of sucks then. Hiruko would have been fairly useful for my Kakashi. And the actual skill itself does seem to be fairly decent. Although, he's a reinforcement. Excuse me, at the end of the day. Yeah, see, like, for example, Diamond Reborn, like, that kind of, like, my thoughts on that, like, that kind of just fucked up the balance of the entire game, because you can have a person who hasn't been playing um, for the longest time, just fucking log in and let's buy a bunch of keys, or have had a bunch of keys saved up and then just gone ham on those, and you have a person who can have a card that's potentially like 13 million CP, like right as you start. Which is to say, like I know for a fact that this game is not free to play friendly. Um, it really is pay to play. But to me, like the amount that you have to pay for this game is just a little too much nowadays. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's still semi fun. But like I said, once you get to a certain point, like if they had new dungeons, like they haven't added new dungeons in nearly half a year, I think. If they were to add new dungeons like a next chapter, I mean, I might come back for that just simply because I'd be interested to see like, okay, how can I beat this or how can I beat that? But like for example, Death of Jiraiya, I already know exactly what's gonna happen there. Um, it's all very there isn't enough new content. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Like even Dungeon Link, which has a lot of the same faults, where it's very pay to play, you know, intensive and all that. Um, One of the things about it, at the very least, like no two events are the same. Like they have an actual story. They don't just rely on like an anime. They don't just rely on Adventure Time. Like I mean, sure, Adventure Time is a really big draw for it, you know. But at the end of the day, the Dungeon Link itself still has its own self-contained story, and even then, Dungeon Link is more of a side thing. It's a side story, you know. It's non-canon, obviously. Whereas the problem with Ninja Hayate, Demon Fox, whatever you want, Naruto Hayate, whatever you want to call it, the problem with this particular game, in my eyes at the very least, is that they make you pay a little too much. But not only that, but there's not enough variety. Like almost everything you do is the same, at the very least with the mechanics for this. And to re-explain one of the mechanics that I really like, that I was trying to say, for example, Cursed Sword. Sorry, dropped the phone. Like as you can see here, they have the rewards, right? They have like if you completed a normal, you get like this little sprite, which helps you level up your make your characters into the next stage. Excuse me, into the next stage. If you clear hell, you get a 6-star main hero, and if you defeat the dancing sword 1,200 times, you get the 6-star hero. The other one, right? So that's very nice because it gives you a goal to work towards. Admittedly, once you're done with it, obviously you can't redo it, or it's not particularly useful. But either way, you do have rewards. You have something to look forward to. Whereas for Naruto Hayate, you really don't. I mean, what are you working for? 3 stars on everything, you'll get maybe 200 gold, which is, if you're starting out, that's a really big amount. I'll admit that's true. That's a decent amount, and you can do quite a bit with that if you're careful about it. But once you get to a stage where I'm at, gold doesn't really become. It becomes a little irrelevant. As you can see, I have 44k gold that I haven't touched since like the last video that I made. If I were to do the Ninja World War today or right now, I would get another 44, another 22k. I mean, another 2k. Sorry. Just daily without trying or paying or anything like that. Again, I already paid quite a bit, obviously, for the account because of I recharged a lot. But either way, you know, it is what it is. Essentially, is what I'm trying. Which is not to say I don't hate it or I don't like it or that, you know, stuff like that. It's just that it's gotten really boring and really repetitive for me at the very least. Like maybe I'll come back to it in a month or two. Um, As to why I haven't really been making videos again, I mean, it's just almost liberating. I mean, I have so much time now. I can work on playing guitar, I can focus on working out. I've actually lost weight recently, which is fairly nice in my opinion. Um, yeah, I can just do more crap. And I have more money. Like I don't think that's something that really is understood. Like this game drains money hard, like to an obscene amount. Especially if you want to get anything that's good, you know. Like it gets to the point where $100, that's fairly cheap. Don't worry about that. It's more along the lines of 1,000 or 2,000, where like some people will start to be like, okay, it's a little much, but still I might be able to do it. And yeah, I mean that's just at the very least in my eyes one of the flaws of the game. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously I can't really talk about anything at the event for today. I mean, it's just Ninja World. I mean, it's just Diamond or Reborn Orochimaru, which is pretty cool. Don't personally like the skin for Orochimaru at Diamond Reborn. Don't know why they chose that, but I mean, if they were keeping with the theme of having like Orochimaru be towards the end, like they could have used like one of the clips they get from like when he's a scientist or some shit like that. But yeah, oh well. Uh, let's see. Yeah, National War. It's gonna start up again. You can register on the 10th. Then they'll see if you can become an Akatsuki. Um, and then you guys get to choose your leader for during the 17th and the 27th if you're in a Ninja World War. So that's cool, I guess. So receive that. And that's really about it. Again, not much else to tell. Um, Man, I wish I had that skin. Skin looks so awesome. Oh well, yeah, there hasn't really been anything else to say. Um, Vatos, yeah, this mofo, a bunch of fucking he can kick my ass. I've seen his team, and it is beastly and slightly frightening. But that's cool, I guess. Hmm. And again, like another thing that I do like about Dungeon Link's a little more than this game, which is not to say that again I'm not hating on this game, but it's just this is something I've noticed. Like for example, when it comes to recharging, you can get swords and you can get a bunch of stuff, but you can't actually get like fully geared out like fucking like with like let's say you can't get a Madara Uchiha essentially for buying it. You can't get Diamond Reborn. Like if you want that sort of stuff, you have to participate in events, and you have to participate pretty hard just to get a couple of stuff. Like it just keeps you engaged. Like as you can see here, there's this item roadmap that you have an entire month to fill out. You get these little items from just doing dungeons, special dungeons, normal dungeons, dungeons for anything, you know. And when they say dungeons for anything, they mean dungeons for anything, you know, like special ones, elite ones, hell ones. Doesn't matter as long as you do it. You have a chance to get a drop like that of that currency, and you can't buy that currency. You have to play to get it, obviously. And again, you get these swords to use it. Then you have login rewards. Like you have different login rewards specifically. Like for example, for this special login event, like I'm gonna get today, I'm gonna get the sprite, the fairy, and then tomorrow I'm gonna get the 6-star fin, and then I'm also gonna get today the day 4, the a bunch of metal magic dust, I think it is, and then like day 5 a 4-star gem to reinforce stuff. So I mean, it has more nuance to it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You can't just pay to play, and I mean, yeah, it's a little fair, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, again, you'll have people who are just complete whales and like can just throw around an obscene amount of money and time into the game, but they're not as common as you would think. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. But I mean, again, most mobile games at the very least are like that. They're pay to play, so I guess that's okay. That's kind of why I do want to focus more on like RuneScape and shit like that because RuneScape at the very least, say what you want to say. The if you really are a dedicated player, right? Like let's say you are a truly dedicated person to this game and you start free to play, just free to play. If you know what you're doing, you never have to pay for membership for a single day. Um, you can save up gold. You can do a bunch of shit. Like you can go into the GE. You can test the market. You can do a bunch of shit, and you can spend a lot of time in that game, and you never have to spend a single dollar except for like obviously the computer, the internet, and electricity, I guess. But even then, like if you go to an internet cafe, you can run a fucking computer for like a day or a few hours. Um, but whereas with this game, like if you want to get far, like let's say this sort of CP that you see that I have, a free to play player does not have that. It's just not something that they have. And they probably won't have. I almost estimate it for at least another year. Like nobody free to play is gonna have the amount of CP that I have right now. Um, like you know, VIP zero at for at least another year minimum, and that's like me being extremely generous. You know, like stupidly generous. Obviously it's been done. Like we used to say that about 20 million CP and such, but at this point, like to move up further in the game, like you have to get reborn. You have to get special auction cards. You have to get reborn, diamond reborn essentially. You can't just stick around with like diamond cards anymore. You have to work with diamond reborn. You have to work with combination cards. You have to work with auction cards, which for a free to play player is not going to be very realistic. Um, it sounds like I'm disillusioned about the game, and it's probably because I am. But I mean, I can't really do anything about that, you know. So yeah, this is a really depressing video, and I'm sorry for that. But I mean, I saw a comment that like said that they'd like to see a video, and this is probably not the type of video that they wanted to hear. But I mean, it's a video, I guess. Yeah. So I'll see you guys later. Hopefully once I get everything straightened out and like start to focus more, like I'll come up with videos for like I don't know, Neo. Like I said, I'm fairly experienced in the game, 300 plus hours. Very fun game, and I can do a guide, showcase stuff like that. Um, just branch out essentially, not just focus on this game in particular, or even mobile games. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye, and thank you for the support. It means a lot to me.